A big welcome to World of Sport.
So here we are for race 5 and 6 of Sprint Series 3. Race 3 and 4 were lost to the Shadow Realm. We're at Blue Moon Speedway, infield B, reverse. Kiwi, Con and Norm are going to lead us away. We're waiting for the lights here for race number 5, and away we go. And everybody starts to kick out and look for the run. The Mustang's very quick off the line. A couple of Lamborghinis in the field as well. Con and Kiwi go side by side, running down into turn 1 for the first time. We go 3 or 4 wide in the back of the pack. Everybody has to sort this out before we get to the pinch point of turn 2, which it's a hell of a pinch point, Bobo. Yes, it is, as we all come around now. What's going to happen? Is it going to be clean? Is it going to be tidy? 3 wide, a little bit of a pinball action there, but everybody gets around. Mostly clean and tidy for the nice car. Ken's Audio in 4th. Zambi losing out around that corner in 5th. Wiso in 6th. Norm in 3rd. Con and Kiwi out in front with space building as they fly around for the first time of 7. All drivers have to make a mandatory pit stop. Zambi with the inside run on the final turn. Wiso gets it a little bit out of shape as they all come around now into the start-finish line for the first time. Is anyone going to take a dive on the first lap into the pit lane? Nobody does. We all come around now. 6 laps to go. And all the GT4 cars running hot down the hill, approaching turn 1 for the second time. Norm in 3rd at the top of the order, at the top of the pack, with Con and Kiwi out the front, battling building space. Kiwi makes a mistake, gets it wide, contact with the wall. That's going to invite the rest of the pack up towards him. Zambi very wide there, 5th to 7th. Wiso's in 4th. Very tight around turn 3. As they go around to the kick of turn 4 as well, 2 wide. The wall hovers on the outside here. Zambi well acquainted with it as they come around the final turn for the second time. Wings looking for the inside run on Wiso, gets it done. Slows the run of Kez down. Rick and Gnarly side by side coming out of the final turn, coming down the straight. Look at this, so close still after 2 laps. No one has served a pit stop yet. All drivers still have to serve a mandatory stop and take a mandatory fresh tyres. Now Wiso runs up the inside of Wings around turn 1 as they approach turn 2. Gnarly, Kez and Harris looks for the inside run. Gnarly goes very wide and he drifts away now to the back of the pack. Slayer's in 8th. Rick comes around the outside looking for the inside run on turn number 4. Zambi well in the back in 11th. Con and Norm in the front. Kiwi made that mistake earlier, letting Norm through. Wings and Wiso still battling. End of lap 3. Here we go. Is anyone going to come into the pits? Here's a pit window opportunity. We're approaching the middle of the race. Anybody comes in. Harris comes in. Seems to be the only one, potentially, with 4 laps to go on this 7-lap sprint. Con, Norm and Kiwi, 1, 2, 3. Wiso in 4th. Normie Current at the time of recording. Big cut there, we'll ignore that. Kiwi in 3rd. Wiso, Wings a little bit wide. Rick and Slayer. Slayer gets the cut back done almost with the run down the straight. Gnarly in the bright green in the background, coming around as well. Now, we're going to see some pit stop action now, surely. Norm looking for the inside run on Con. A little bit of a tap there. Racing incident perhaps, or a bump and run, you tell me. Norm runs wide. Con's coming in for a pit stop. Norm stays out. Kiwi comes in for fresh socks as well. So does Con and Wiso. And Wings and Slayer and Gnarly. 2 cars out on track. That is Norm and Rick and Zambi. And Harris, who has pit already as well. And here they all come out of the pits now in a train, all together. The tension as we have the faster cars approaching around the outside. Slayer's in 8th. Harris goes around the outside of him. Zambi's going to look around the outside as well. Wings, Kez and Harris. Wings, big mistake into turn 2. And sends him falling down the order. Puts him in arm's reach of Zambi. Norm's coming for his pit stop, so is Rick as well. So we're going to have the slower cars rejoining with Con and Kiwi in third and fourth, potentially looking at first and second with the run around turn 1 for the start of lap 6. Kez and Wiso battling in Slayer, Zambe and Wings all tightly packed in together as well. Gnarly and Harris. Harris in the slipstream of Gnarly. Norm comes out in front of Con. Con's going to have the pace around turn 1, but does he have the tarmac to get it done? The Mustang around the outside of the Lamborghini. 2 laps to go, and this is the battle for first place. For maximum points, for maximum damage on the table. A little bit of a shake there from Norm. Kez and Wiso both come around. And then look at that, 6th through 9th. It's all anybody's game. Con and Norm approaching the final turn for the penultimate time. Con in the Mustang. Norm runs it very wide in the Lamborghini, looks for the cutback run. And they go side by side. Norm is in the lead as they run down the start-finish for the final time. 1 lap to go. Norm's going to have the run into turn 1. Unless Con makes a courageous dive up the inside. Here it is. It's all going to happen here, folks. Norm, Con and Norm. Round turn 2, a little bit of a tippy-tap. Kiwi in third. Wiso and Kez around in 4th and 5th. Kez, big mistake. Zambe, a little bit of a touch on the wall from contact, but that's racing. So they all come around for the final lap. Norm still holding Con off in the final corner. Looks for the outside in cut. And he's going to get the job done. Coming along for race 5 on the final lap. Lisa Norm takes the checkered flag over Con in second, which is going to give Norm 17 points. Con 15, Kiwi 13, Wiso 12, Kez, look at that bunch up on the line as well. Kez is going to be on 11. Here are the results and the standings overall. So Norm's on 55, Kiwi's on 58, Wiso's on 56. Look how close that is, all those drivers together. Rick on 56 as well. So cue title card for the next race. It's race number 6. This is the grid. It's reverse order after race 5. Here we are at Red Bull Ring Short in Austria. Slayer Freak, Norm, Wings, Gnarly, Kiwi, Con, GT and Zambe round out the top 8 for race 6 of Sprint Series number 3. We're waiting for the lights here. Everybody has to make a mandatory pit stop and a mandatory tyre change, and then we're away and racing at the Red Bull Ring on the short circuit. Slayer Freak, Norm and Gnarly take us away to start with. Let's see what happens at the pitch point into turn 1. Norm is the defending sprint champion. A little bit of tap there from Kiwi, but we all made it around mostly clean for the most part. It looks like, yeah, all right, yeah, very nice. Nice and tidy, gentlemen. So Norm cuts Slayer off into turn 2. Gnarly in third, Kiwi in fourth. They all fly around. Lots of Lamborghinis in this lineup today. GT in 7th, the newcomer at this point in this race, one of his first events at the time that this was recorded. Harris and Rick battling the back. Wings and Con. Con's going to potentially lose out to Wings around here. No, Con shuts the door. Kiwi's in 4th. Con runs wide. He's going to pick up a penalty for that, I'm sure. As they all come around for the first lap of 7. Norm's in the lead from Slayer, followed by Gnarly, Kiwi, Con. Zambe is serving his pit stop on lap 1. Getting out of the traffic. He doesn't want any of this nonsense. Norm, Slayer, Gnarly into turn 1 for the second time. Con and Wings, GT lurking in 7th. Rick in 9th, battling Harris. They all come around turn 2. Comes up on you a lot sooner than you expect when you're used to the full circuit. Norm leading us through in the bright blue. Followed by Slayer, Gnarly and Kiwi. Still a little bit of space between these drivers. Still quite just enough room to potentially make a move if the driver in front has a slow entry or exit. And we approach now the double right-hander, Kiwi and Gnarly. Kiwi's going to look for the slipstream running down the start-finish here. Has anyone served that pit stop that lap? No one has. Zambe's still the only one. Slayer, Gnarly and Kiwi all in the slipstream of Norm, as well as Con and Wings. GT, a little bit of a gap there between 6th and 7th. Con runs very wide. He's off to dinner with the Queen. So come around turn 2 for the 3rd time. It's all a little bit closer now. The front 3 starting to bunch up. Con absolutely bailed out now. Something's gone wrong in the cockpit of that car, I'm sure. So they come around for the end of lap 3. It's still Norm, Slayer and Gnarly. Anybody get a pit? None of the top 4. None of the top 5. So they approach the start finish for the 4th time. It's all nice and reformed racing at the moment. As GT pushes up the inside of Wings, he's going to look for the run up the straight around turn 1. And Slayer's closing in on Norm. Closing in the Mustang. Gnarly still within sight, not letting Slayer out of his slipstream, out of the distance. Kiwi in 4th, Wings and GT still in 5th and 6th. Con's in 7th. After whatever happened there, Zambe is in 8th, Rick's in 9th, Harris Clan is in 10th. Norm serves his pit stop on the end of lap 4, so does Gnarly. Slayer stays out, Kiwi comes in as well. Wings and GT also decide to stay out for lap 5. Tension here as the pack is shuffled up. You're going to see whose strategy pays off, who gets stuck behind traffic, whose overcut pulls off, whose undercut works out, as Slayer still out in the lead. Wings in 2nd, GT in 3rd now. Front 3 drivers yet to pit. As Norm has come out in 4th, followed by Gnarly. Now Slayer, Wings, both come in at the end of lap 5. GT's going to stay out for 6. He's going to come in at the end of lap 6. Unless he pit early and we didn't notice, we'll find out soon. GT, well out in the daylight. This is what he's been waiting for all race. As everybody's peeled away one by one in front of him. Norm rejoining Slayer with the run around the outside. They run into turn 2. Slayer's got the inside line, played that well to perfection. And now has to defend Norm for 2 laps. As Norm already looks to go side by side and around the outside, coming down into the final 2 turns for the penultimate time. Look at this side by side, 2nd and 3rd. Gnarly still hovering in the background. Might be able to pay off if there's a mistake. Slayer with the inside run. Norm with the cutback. Slayer runs wide. That might cost him a penalty. GT's got into the pits. Norm makes the overtake down on the final corner for the penultimate time. 1 lap to go. Norm, Slayer, Gnarly, Kiwi. GT still has to rejoin us, serving his pit stop. What? Oh, well, look at this. GT, here he comes. Where's he going to come out? Norm, Slayer, Gnarly, GT. Kiwi gets around GT on the straight. Wings lost out to GT. So it's Norm, Slayer, Gnarly for the final lap. Look at this, 1, 2, 3. Norm, a little bit of gravel on his outside tyres there. Gnarly closes the gap on Slayer. 2 turns to go in race 6 of Sprint Series 3. The current sprint champion defending his title as we speak, taking the full points and max damage. And the checkered flag for Lisa Norm. Barring any penalties, it'll be Norm on 17 points, Slayer on 15. Gnarly jumps him, takes 15. Slayer drops down the order. Gnarly on 15 points, Kiwi on 13. GT's going to take 4th and 12 there. Shake up with the penalties on the line. Let's flick to the standings. Overall is what we'll be focusing on. You will see the standings from this race, but we'll run through the overall after 6 races with 4 to go. Now, Nelisa Norn, the defending champion, on 72. 1 point behind him is Y2 Kiwi on 71. Rick Reen in third on 64. Gnarly Dude on 63. 4 races to come. Thank you for tuning.